Hello, friends. I am so excited to talk about and to also share this information. Actually, you know what? I just realized I don't want to record here, you guys. I want to record this. All right, here we go. But let's make this a little bit smaller. No, okay. Hello, friends. I am so excited to talk about the power of play and why it's so important, especially right now during May, which is National Mental Health Awareness Month. And it's because the loneliness pandemic really is reaching just levels of high that we haven't seen ever. And our world, even though we're so connected digitally and through technology, we are incredibly disconnected from other humans. And I think it's time for that to change. And I'm here to talk about that and to help other people really, find a way to do that in their everyday lives. And so we're going to talk about why play matters and why play matters in your life. So, and I'm also going to share with you the 8 play personalities based on the research by Dr. Stuart Brown, and you are going to learn your play personality. But let's talk about why it matters. First of all, let me tell you this: play is not just a nice to have. It is a must have in today's world. It is a must have so that we can connect with ourselves and with others in a brand new way. And I'm excited to share with you this insight because I hope, if anything, it helps you to connect in a much more fun way with other people. So, why it matters is because it's not just a way of work, it's about being human and having a human connection. And look at this: people in the research of loneliness that started to use play found that half of that audience reduced their level of burnout. And burnout has a lot to do with capacity, but also realignment to what it is you're meant to be doing and work, etc. Half of those people reduced burnout. 3 times improvement or increase in creativity because play within adults or adults who play consistently are more creative, more open, more sharp, more energized. And so it helps to solve problems. And then this to me was fascinating. In this study, they did that there was a increase up to 17 years more for people who play in their lives and who practice play because a lack of play, there is deprivation in sleep, health issues, and all this causes the body to deteriorate. So the more you play, the longer you live, basically, is what it comes down to, right? So the benefits of play, we all know it, right? It boosts brain function, reduces stress and anxiety, deepens social bonds. I'm gonna tell you right now, this right here, deepens social bonds, is one of the most critical factors why you want to practice play in your day, as well as it sparks creativity. And especially now, after having gone through the pandemic and people just being on their own and by themselves, it's continued. And especially because there's 70% of workers still are remote or prefer remote, which means it increases the likelihood of loneliness. And if you look around, 1 out of 3 people in your environment right now, 1 out of every three people actually feel like a sense of belonging. And this is the problem because if they don't feel like they belong, they don't feel like they should be there, that sense of camaraderie and loneliness will continue to increase, right? So they won't feel like they're connected to their team. And then there's a higher risk of burnout. And again, burnout has to do with capacity and aligning to what you're doing every day, feeling like, okay, what I do matters. The bridge is play. And play is the bridge back to connection, to communication, to collaboration, to community, which increases the level of feeling like I belong here, I matter here. And look at this: play signals that you belong here. We want you here. Just like when we were kids and we were playing some sort of game, and if we were having to be picked, And, two people were picked as the captains, and now they have to choose between you and somebody else. Man, you just want to be picked. I want to be part of that group, part of that team. And so that's what we have an opportunity to do in our workplace, is to have people connect through play. So my question is, what kind of player are you? And now I'm going to share with you those 8 play personalities and how much it is. And so I want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity who's listening to this to connect to this next few slides, because I'm going to share with you play personality. And as you're listening to me talk about this play personalities, consider, what do you feel? What are the ones that resonate for you? Go, oh, this is me. And if it's you, jot it down. And I'm going to have a full, fun little gift at the end, so you can actually access this play personality even more realistic in your life and know how to apply it in your life. Okay, so based on Dr. Stewart's work here, Dr. Stuart Braun's work, he discovered 8 personalities, 8 play personalities. Now, let me tell you, his bulk of his work was actually done by working with people who were lifetime convicted criminals. And what he discovered was that a correlation amongst a lot of them were that they did not have adequate play in their youth, and it translated to the behaviors that led to their incarceration for a lifetime. And so through this, he said, look, there's 8 different kinds of personalities. Now, as we're going through these personalities, my friend, you are going to resonate with one over another, or maybe a couple over others. And that's cool. I think we all have some resemblance of some of these in our lives, but we will resonate with one over the other. Okay, let's get into it. The collector. Back in the day when people were sending a lot of mail and so on, people started to collect stamps, for example. Are you a collector? Do you make lists and catalogs and archive things? And are you like a rummager of garage sales? And that's somebody who loves to collect things. Then you look for that special find, and you love to have a full set of them once you have it. If that's you, you could be the collector. So in other words, you get energized by gathering and organizing things, curating things. Art, for example. The way you can bring that to work is by adapting that idea of collecting and making sure you have, the rare finds to your team, right? So you can be the organizer of resources and knowledge bases. If this is you lead projects, for example, and you are curating the best of the best for that project. And if that's you, right? So somewhere in your little notebook or somewhere in front of you, whatever, make a tick and go, yeah, maybe I'm a collector. Okay. You hunt. You love to hunt. That's the key. And find the perfect resources. Okay. Now let's take a look at the competitor. The competitor is motivated by setting goals, scoring, keeping score. Every time I see the competitor, I think of golfers, right? Just keeping tabs of your score. You track progress. You keep score. You light up at challenges and rankings. You like to see how things are being ranked. I also think about when people go bowling, right? I'm just looking at the screen going, I don't know, I'm next, right? I'm over here, having a cool drink. I don't even know who's next, but there's people who are attending to that board, right? They're competitive. Okay. The way you can bring this to work and into your life is by setting your own personal goals, your own personal performance goals, and not so much just the HR goals, but rather, what are you doing, right, that you want to improve this week, and then set a target for that. That's kind of fun for you. You see that you're able to build, if there's a way to build some friendly competition at your work, do that, right? But because you are bringing the way that you get motivated by goals and rising to the challenge. So if this is you, put a tick somewhere, right? Because you naturally like to compete. Another way that people like to play is director. Directors find joy in bringing people together, right? They are the networkers, the connectors, the orchestrator of people. And they naturally step up to organize things, to put things together, to plan. They enjoy managing people and also connecting people to each other. And they love that. And the way you bring your director energy, right, and director play energy to work is to help plan or facilitate gatherings, workshops, outings, for example. This is even better. When people can come together, you love this. and design meeting agendas that are that get people to interact with each other, not just sort of sit there and watch a screen or sit in a meeting, but rather connect. And that's something that you really enjoy as a director, right? You find the deepest joy when you're bringing people together around a shared vision. This is your excitement. This is your way of play. I remember when I was a kid, I used to direct things, but none in this way. I would direct my plush toys, but directors love to direct people. What about explore? Oh, this is another kind. These are people who are driven by curiosity. They absolutely love to, they have questions in their mind. They always wonder, well, we did, what if we climbed that tree and we connected the ropes? What would happen then? They're also very much outside people. They love unfamiliar environments. They love exploring. They love literally going on into the wilderness and explore things. You can drop them down in a city or in the woods somewhere with maybe a map or a compass and a bag, and off they go, and they love it. And the way you bring that exploration or explorer type of play that you enjoy is by, scouting emerging trends or scouting ways in which people can do something different in their work. Or, say, for example, you have a organizational project that you're all working on. Find ways in which you can do that differently. Question how things are being done and say, well, what if we did this other thing? And then raise your hand. And if you're a leader, listen to this. Notice who is an explorer in your team and pull them in to give their input. This is really fantastic. So again, you are always the first person, right, to download a new app, for example. Man, you're trying new things. You're the first one who was on AI, for example. Now, this one I love because, of course, you can imagine this is where I resonate. This is where my creative juices get pumping. You're the Joker. You basically root joy in laughter, levity, humor. You don't necessarily take life too seriously. You're a serious person, but you don't take life too seriously. You have a facility to lighten the mood, right? You're comfortable with wordplay, absurdity, levity. You use humor to connect, right? You're the first one that in the conversation you have not just a joke, but you have a humorous observation. Maybe you've even taken improv and stand-up comedy and acting, and you know the power of the pause or the power of timing, right? You find joy and laughter, and more importantly, you bring it to the world. And you use humor to open up meetings, for example. This is the way you bring it into work. Open up meetings with humor. Ease the tension. If you're a leader and you have to talk about a difficult project, start with something fun. Bring your levity, bring your humor, your appropriate humor in the workplace, and then channel that with your team. You create a connectedness with your team through humor. Bring that to the workplace. The workplace needs more levity. And of course, within reason and minding all the rules and bits, but bring that energy into work. Especially remote and hybrid teams need the jokers in the room, right? Who are the underrated heroes of their environment. And it's the fastest way. Humor is the fastest way, when used appropriately, to create psychological safety within a team. So is this you? Are you the joker of the room? Haha, welcome aboard, my friend. This is good. The next style is the kinesthete. And I know it sounds like a funny word, but it's the kinesthete. These are people who experience play through physical movement and tactile sensation. If I was right now, you my usual thing. I usually have my desk rise because I love standing up and moving my hands. So I'm definitely a kinesthete. I'm a joker and a kinesthete, and a little bit of the explorer as well. You think better by moving, right? You think better by moving, and they're sometimes called the body-based player. You need to move your body. Okay, you experience the world through movement, sensation. That's your style. Great. Bring that into the workplace. If you are definitely kinesthete, advocate for either yourself walking during meetings, or standing up during meetings, or taking walking meetings, using whiteboards. A lot of salespeople tend to be here as well. We will write things on the board. I remember as a kid, the way I learned language, because my first language is not English, it's actually Spanish. And when I was learning language, I actually didn't even realize I was doing this completely unconsciously. My genius little brain insisted that my parents got me a blackboard. We didn't have whiteboard time. There was a blackboard and with chalk. And what I would do is I would bring home my homework and act as a teacher on the board, teaching it to my plush toys or my siblings if they were around. I would teach them what I was learning. So it made it physical, so much fun. That was my little world when I was growing up. So bring in your kinesthetic, your need for physical touch and sensation. Build things that people can see. Maybe when you're putting together projects, find a way to make it 3D, if not 2D, but 3D, so people can see the project from multiple locations and multiple angles. This is you, my friend. And this is you. I was going to say yes in the chat, but this is being recorded, so for later. But keep that in mind, right? And one of the key things is that when we're working remotely, right, which sets up for a lot of groups, the invitation here is to advocate for yourself. This is really important. Advocate for yourself. And by this, what I mean is, like I said, walking meetings, or allow that when you're in meetings to be outside. Take the meeting walking. If you're going to be remote anyway, be outside and be in the wilderness. It doesn't matter. Be in the woods. Allow yourself to advocate for you, because this is what you need to improve creativity, joy, enthusiasm, connection when you're walking around and being physical. What about this next one? This next one, it also lights me up. Energized by self-expression in front of an audience. Do you love public speaking and presenting, telling stories, being able to exaggerate stories with vivid imagery and words and sound? And that's you. You are the performer. You love performing. This is another area for me. So for me, definitely is the joker, performer, and some explorer, but definitely joker and performer. Boy, give me lights, camera, action. I will go on stage. In fact, I have 3 microphones around me just in case one gives out. And what you want to do, if you're the performer, volunteer to perform in some way. Volunteer to tell stories, to tell a client story so that your sales team can understand how to sell a product, or to tell a client story as a coder or as a developer, so that the rest of the team can understand the technical things of your product. Tell a story. Now, might be surprised, as engineers who love to be a performer, they don't necessarily have to be loud and proud about it. They just enjoy talking to people. They may not enjoy necessarily public speaking, like on a stage, but they enjoy telling stories. Dive into it. That's you, right? Lead training sessions if necessary. If you're a great storyteller, do that, because it helps people to understand especially complex things in the workplace. You're natural communicators and culture carriers, right? So lean into those moments when your voice matters in presentations, training, etc. This is you. Then we got the creators. The creators are exactly that. They love to create, right? This person, if this is you, you find the deepest joy in making things like art, music, writing, design, but most importantly, the aesthetics, the beauty of it, the creation of it. This is you. If this is you, my friend, bring that creativity into your workplace by contributing visual designs, design and brand expression. So for example, say you're working on a project, and again, it's difficult for people to understand what's going on. And if you have an idea, like a visual in your mind, see if you can create a design for it, a visual for it, so that other people can see what you see, or to help people understand the project. Right? Facilitate thinking and creative thinking and brainstorming visually. I love when sometimes, I've seen this not often, but when I see this, I'm always enamored, because I'm only focusing on the creator, is when a speaker or a conference has those visual creators, right? So as the talk is happening, they are visually drawing it on a big whiteboard or a big flip chart. Oh, that's the best, because as visual learners, this creator can take the whole concept and actually draw it out visually. That helps the learners who are in the room really capture the ideas. If this is you, bring those ideas and bring that creative spirit of play to your work every single day. So my friends, as you heard, those are the 8 personalities. So consider, when you're thinking about, well, if you're still unsure which one is yours, absolutely do this. What did you love to do when you were a kid? Did you love going outside and playing and ruffling and tumbling and getting dirty? Or do you like to be indoors and perhaps, reading through storybooks and creating ideas in your mind? Or did you come up with being the Joker? I know I was definitely the Joker. Even as a kid, I was making jokes. I was writing jokes as a kid without really realizing that I was writing jokes. It's so much fun. Okay. What makes you lose track of time today? What are the things that you do? What are the hobbies, the side projects, the things that help you to lose, track of time? What is that? Keep track of that. And as you keep track of it, notice what you're doing. Are you being a creator, right? Are you exploring? Are you collecting? Are you the kinesthete? What are you doing that you're losing track of time? That might be your form of play. And that's how you express yourself in your life. And lastly, when do you feel the most alive at work? What are you doing? What's happening, right? Look at those 8 personalities and notice, what are you bringing to the table when you're feeling the most alive at work? I know for me, I was feeling the most alive when I can bring my humor and my performer play states. Oh, in fact, this is why I chose to be in learning and development my whole career. When I realized that you can actually teach at work, do trainings at work for a job. Oh, I was hooked on phonics. I signed up and I went and got schooling for it because it lit me up. Now, I didn't realize that was a form of play, but when you are embedded in your form of play, you feel a sense of connection, community, collaboration, creativity. Notice I came up with a lot of C words there, right? You feel alive. And it helps to reduce this feeling of loneliness and to increase a sense of belonging at work. Increase a sense that you can contribute to your workplace better than ever when you bring your style and your form of play. My friends, let me tell you right now, you don't stop playing because you get old. You get old because you start playing. And Dr. Stuart Brown wrote this in his book, Play. I recommend y'all get it. It makes a huge difference. If this presentation spoke to you in some way personally, and you want to bring this presentation to your organization, let me tell you right now, here's some things I can offer you. Number one, I can offer you this bundle right after this conversation, The Science of Play. I'm going to give you the information that you just heard today. I'm going to give you also the benefits of some benefits of information on how to deep dive. I'm going to also give you literally ideas on how to bring any one of your styles into the work, and more specifically, give you a 30-day of play. 30 days of play at work. Some ideas, micro challenges you can do, a micro challenge calendar, all this, as well as 20 remote play activities that you can use with your team. And how do you get those things? Simple. Just scan this QR code, and when you're prompted, enter the word play. You'll be given some questions to answer about this presentation today, and then you will get the bundle. And if you want to reach out to me personally, literally wherever you saw this video, reach out to me, or you can email me at media@BrooklynDicent, that's DICENT.com. BrooklynDicent.com. And I can't wait to see you, my friends, on the playground of work.